So I decided to do this video last minute regarding the eclipse that we have today. So hello to my fellow night owls. I did actually use my pendulum to ask a few questions, and I did, because I am in California, I did ask if there would be any earthquakes in California over 4.0, and the pendulum says no. Will there be any major communication outages related to the eclipse or, today? It is saying yes. I also asked, will there be any news related to extraterrestrial sightings? And it's swinging diagonal. So that's telling me yes, maybe, but that there will be misinformation, because when I asked about misinformation, it swings to yes. I also asked if there'd be any harmful consequences related to NASA firing the 3 rockets during the eclipse, and it does say no. And then I even, because it has been in the news, I did ask if that demon face syndrome is in fact a real syndrome. And it does say yes, but I also thought to ask, is this a distraction from something else? And it's saying yes. And I also asked, well, okay, is this used to discredit what people are really seeing? And my pendulum says yes. I did just pick up some things intuitively, so if you're seeing this message is for you. But in general, regarding the eclipse, the image I get is like a whirlpool of distraction and misinformation with a lot of stories and stuff like that, causing us to be confused, dysregulated, and holding on to limiting beliefs, when in reality we need to be releasing and shifting our energy. Letting go of limiting beliefs and different ways of thinking is what's going to be really important right now. I do feel that there's going to be, as there has been, a lot of exaggeration in the news, an upsurge in sensationalistic headlines and stuff like that. But I'm also seeing old news videos and stories coming back up to add to all the confusion and adding to unnecessary information. Regarding fear, because there's been a lot of fear put out into the collective regarding the eclipse. So instead of avoiding fear, what if we take the time to acknowledge it and understand it? Well, what is it that I'm afraid of? Why am I afraid of that? And when we have situations like that, the best thing we can do is actually look at it from a third-person perspective. You know how when we're watching a scary movie, and because we're not literally in it, but we're watching it from an outsider's perspective, we're able to see things a little bit more clearly and anticipate things. And then when someone does something dumb in a movie, we're like, why would you do that? Well, yeah, when you're the one actually running for your life, you're not thinking 100% clearly. But when you take an outsider's perspective view, third person view, you see things a little bit clearly and a little bit more ahead of time than you would otherwise, right? I actually did pull a few cards regarding the eclipse in general. I did use 3 different decks, and the first question I asked is what is it that we need to release if you're seeing this? And we got the letter card paired with accept responsibility. And we have the friendship card that says, bring to me friendship true, sharing laughter, understanding too. So some of us, what might be really helpful is writing down the things that we need to release and then burning it. But also, if people aren't willing to have and accept responsibility for their actions and how they've gone about doing things, letting that go. And that includes friendships, family, jobs. No matter how long or loyal we feel to it, this is something that we need to look at and evaluate if we need to let go. I also asked what is it that we need to focus on? And we got the book card. We got releasing blocks, which is interesting. And then we have destiny. All that I shall need to know as I walk shall now be shown. So if we are able to let go of those things that we need to let go of, we will be able to see more of what we need to see as opposed to what we think we want to see. With the book card, this is definitely about gathering more information, verifying things, especially now with AI and a lot of false news and these AI generated images. It's going to be really important to double check things. And like I said, releasing things is what we actually need to focus on. And that is easier said than done. It's not going to happen overnight. And then the last part I asked was, what do we need to be mindful of moving forward? And it's interesting because we got the joy card. As I do will, so mote it be. Let joy and light radiate from me. Moving forward, focus on what brings you joy. We can't always be focused on the fear and the negative and the woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda, if this, that, and the other. Dream sweet, sleep deep. Sleep that's deep and lasts till morn, wondrous dreams for days reborn. So making sure you get enough sleep, right? And giving yourself time to wind down at the end of the day, knowing that if you have to get up early, to make sure you parent yourself and make sure you get enough sleep and do what you need to prepare for the next day. Then we also have take the lead. This is really important too, moving forward, because we need to initiate things. We need to start moving forward, especially when we release stuff that frees up our energy and our time and space for us to move forward with more flow and ease, with less things weighing us down. Then we have the birds card paired with the moon, which is funny because it's all about the eclipse, right? The moon is about paying attention to our intuition, our subconscious, asking why we do what we do and learning more about ourselves. And then the birds card is really interesting because we have these cages here, but the birds are not in them. So this is also about letting go of limiting ways in thinking and thinking outside the box and looking at things from a beginner's mind, right? So I also paid attention to the bottom of the decks after drawing the cards. And we have glamour. Into this mirror, I now see the realms of possibility. So this is also telling me, with it being at the bottom of the deck, again, pay attention to the news, because not everything we see in the news is ever even necessarily true. It's usually exaggerated. Then we also have the support card. So focus on your support, right? And don't give in to distractions and the things that aren't as important. Then we have the fox card at the bottom. So this is like being careful of people's motives, double checking things like I said before, but also being aware of false friends. So like I said, just do your fact checking and listen to your intuition first and foremost. Have a good day.